So once you've done the first two layers, or using whatever method you've used, in the CFOP method for beginners, you want to create the cross. And then you want to solve all the yellow on top, which is called OLL, orientation last layer. And then you want to solve the rest in 2 goes. Solving the corners, and then solving the edges. And that's altogether called PLL, permutation last layer. And today we're going to have a look of how to do this and the optimal algorithms to use for 2look. There's 3 cases for creating the cross. So for case 1, you have a horizontal line, and what you can do is this. So F and then RU R prime U prime and F prime. If you get an R like this enclosing a piece, so not like that, or like that, basically, then there's 2 ways. One's better than other, the other one's easier to learn, but I would recommend learning the better way. So the easiest way to learn is to do 2 layers down when the R's in the bottom right, like this, so like that, and then you do your same R, U, R prime, U prime, and then you do 2 layers up. Now, turning down 2 layers isn't that fast, and you have to regrip usually for this. So the best way to do it is to actually put it in the top left, like this. And what you do instead is 1 layer down, and the inverse of the RU, R prime, U prime move. So like this. And then you just do F prime. Now there are 7 cases for the cross to full OLL, and they're not actually that hard to learn. 2 of them are very similar, and they're all pretty easy to recognize. Now there are a couple that the algorithms are a little bit harder to learn, but if you just learn like 1 a day, then you could get through it in no time. For this orientation, we basically do soon, and for recognition, we have this cross, and an extra yellow tile up here, and we have this yellow tile on the side here, and there's no tile here. So this is soon, if you don't know what soon is. This is the other fish-shaped orientation, and for recognition, these are just basically flips from the last one. So we have this yellow tile up here, and this yellow tile here, with no yellow tile here. And many people would just do mirrored soon, so it's just soon, but with this hand. But it's actually better to do anti-soon, and you rotate it like here, and you do this algorithm. It's literally the inverse of soon. For this orientation, basically we have 2 yellow tiles here and 2 yellow tiles here, and if you think of them as bars, it makes this sort of H symbol, like that. And the best way to do it is to rotate the H on its side and do this algorithm, which is just an extended soon. This orientation is called pi, and it's because we have 2 yellow tiles here and 2 yellow tiles here, and this creates a bar. This creates like a bar here and a bar here, and that creates sort of a pie shape. So we put pi on its side like this, and we do this algorithm. So this orientation is called T because we have 2 yellow tiles here. That creates a bar, and you can see these 3 yellow here. That creates sort of a T shape. So you put T on its side like this, we have the big bar on this side, and we do this algorithm. For memory, basically, if you already know this one, it's the same as that, but it's actually just better because you don't have to do the regrip and the rotation. So it's the same algorithm, just instead of pulling this down, we pull this up. So this one's called L. We have a tile here and a tile here, and that creates a sort of L shape. We put L upside down to form an R, like this, and we basically do the inverse of T. This orientation is called U, and that's because we have two tiles here, and that creates a sort of U shape. So we turn the U to face U, like this, and we do this algorithm. Once we've orientated all the yellow pieces on top, the next step is to permutate the corners, basically solving them. So what you're looking for is a pair of the same color of corners, so like this. And they're usually referred to as headlights in many videos. I'm just gonna say a pair of corners, the same color. So every other side won't have it. So we put them on this side, so to the left, and we do this algorithm. So the best way to remember this is that we're taking this pair out like this, and then we're sliding the top across and then just putting it in here instead, like this. And rather than doing that move, because the next move is going to need it, we actually don't do that move. And then we take this pair in, and then we slide the top across and then take it out. And that's basically how I remember it. The only other case for corners is where you don't get the pair of corners that have the same color. So for example, in this case, so what we do here, so we do this at any place by the way, is this algorithm. The way I remember this is that basically F, taking this pair in, moving the top across and taking it out like last time, and then move it up, and then we're taking this pair out and inserting it into another way. It's basically the reverse of the last one, we're swapping the order of the sections. The last step is to permutate the edges. Now there are 4 algorithms for this. So the first one is where this piece needs to go to here, that piece needs to go to there, and that piece needs to go to there. And we have this nice big block here. This is called a U-perm. You don't need to know that though. There is another one where they go in the other direction, and we'll get onto that in a second. For more advanced recognition, these two are not opposite colours, while these two are opposite colours. There are 2 really good algorithms for this, and the most beginner friendly is this one, but I personally use the other one. It's your choice. Now this is the algorithm I use, and you have to know how to do M moves. So if you've never done an M move before, basically it's a middle slice like this. So to do it, use your ring finger and push on the bottom layer like that. You also need to know how to do double flicks, and you can just do this twice. There's a lot faster way I recommend you learn, and it's to flick with your ring finger and then your middle finger. Okay, so here's the algorithm. And also there's this move, which we pull back with our ring finger. But you can just do this, but I'm going to display it as this. So for this U-perm, they're going in the other direction, as you can see, like that. And for quick recognition, opposite colors, not opposite colors. And you could just do the mirrored of the last one on this side, or you can do this. So like the last one, I personally like doing this one with M moves. It's the mirrored version. So double flick, and we flick here like this, M move, or like this. Flick again. So this one's called H-perm, and basically they're swapped here and they're swapped here. For easy recognition, they're all just opposite colors. And you can do this anywhere. So here's the algorithm. You're going to have to use M moves for this one. M2, U, M2, U2, M2, U, M2. So this one's called Z-perm. So we have these two are swapping and these two are swapping like this. And we hold it on this side so they're swapping like this and not like this. For easy recognition, you can just look and see that they need swapping. There's no like really advanced recognition for this one either. So here's the algorithm you could use. For any of these permutations, you can have the top layer rotated for however much, and you can still before them, and it would still solve it. For example, for U-perm, if you had it like this, rather than flipping it over, for example, if you had it like this rather than flipping it over and then rotating the cube, you could just flip it over like this, and then recognize just by ignoring the last two layers because they don't count. So this is for more advanced solvers, and then you can just do the algorithm from any spot.